Resilient Communities of East Georgia strengthens communities by giving people the tools to address trauma, support youth, and build resilience. And when you think about it, trauma and stress affect all of us, but resilience can be built. Every interaction, teacher-student, parent-child, neighbor with a neighbor, has the power to make a difference. Rebecca Best is the Executive Director of Resilient Communities of East Georgia. And Rebecca, you offer training not just for professionals, but it's training for anybody who, cares about kids and who cares about their community's health, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Last time I was here, we were talking about our Resilient Teens program and our Resilient Teens Summit. We're accepting applications for our spring cohort right now. So,
oh, great.
6th through 12th graders, resilientteens.org, sign up for our spring cohort. It starts in January. But in working with youth, we recognize that we also need to be training adults, whether that's a parent caregiver, whether that's law enforcement, first responders, teachers and educators, our churches and faith-based organizations. Everyone who interacts with children and families can benefit from learning more about the effects of adverse childhood experiences, trauma-informed care, and how to build resiliency to weigh against those things.
Sure. And what you're doing is offering trainings about recognition and prevention and even reporting when you see that there is an issue.
Yes, we partner with Child Enrichment, Inc. Caitlin Brantley, the prevention director over there, is our mandated reporter trainer. And so she goes into schools and judicial circuits and faith-based organizations to be able to provide mandated reporter training so that if you see something.
It is so important because especially with children, they might not have that, that advocate or whatever.
That's right.
And that's where when you see it and spot it, that's when change can happen.
You know what to do about it.
Yeah.
And if you're not required by law to be a mandated reporter, you can still benefit from the training because you know then what to look for, what to spot if you suspect abuse, and you know where to go to report it, to seek out a mandated reporter, which I think is important. She also teaches Connections Matter, which is a trauma-informed care training that teaches folks just how healthy, connected relationships can combat against trauma. And then additionally, we are focused on community resiliency model training, so CRIM training. We have 3 people from our community getting trained in that right now.
Really?
They'll be finished in December. And then we just had 4 people complete TBRI training, which is trust-based relational intervention. And so that was done through Karen Purvis Institute of Child Development out of Texas Christian University. And the CRIM training is through the Trauma Resource Institute. So we have these evidence-based trainings, these evidence-based programs that we can come into your organization, even businesses, like you were saying, even adults in our interactions with each other, neighbors, can benefit from understanding how to build more connected relationships and foster resiliency skills for our communities.
I love how you talk about the word resiliency, and I think you're touching on it just a little bit, but why is that important for your community? Why is resiliency an important thing? Maybe we've seen some of it in our post-Helene and rebuilding.
Oh, absolutely.
That takes resiliency,
well, it's about thriving, not just surviving, right? And I think if we can approach things from a place of connection and compassion, we can create thriving communities versus communities that are just surviving. Have you ever heard the expression, flip your lid?
Flip your lid.
Yes,
Talk
so
about
there's
that.
Actually a little bit of brain science behind this.
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, I just know enough to be dangerous. But essentially, you have an upstairs brain and a downstairs brain.
Okay.
And your downstairs brain, your amygdala lives there, and it's the watchtower. It's scanning the environment for dangers and threats. And in our upstairs brain is our prefrontal cortex, which is our decision-making brain. So if we imagine our brain like this and we flip our lid, we're not using our prefrontal cortex when we're in an adverse state, whether that's because we've experienced poverty, hunger, abuse, or simply somebody cut us off in traffic, right? We'll flip our lid, or a coworker upsets us, ate our sandwich or something, I don't know. And so understanding how to go back, calm our nervous system, turn our amygdala off, turn that scanning for danger off, and be able to use our prefrontal cortex to make healthy, safe choices is really important, not just for our youth, but for our adults as well.
It is true, because I'm thinking about teenagers and, rash decisions and things that are not, take a beat and think.
That's right.
But, adults do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And I think road rage is a perfect example of that.
It sure is.
Just a perfect example.
And if we're an adult working with youth, right, it's important for us to know what we're bringing to the table, right? How we're showing up in working with the youth and with families. And then I think it's important to see that within the youth and be able to transfer and teach those skills to the youth that we work with too. Finally,
you say, and I love this, resiliency is contagious.
It is. It's knowing how that choice is made, right? It doesn't have to be something that's subconscious that we just let happen to us, that we have a choice in regulating our nervous system, getting back into our upstairs brain, right?
Okay.
And then that kind of becomes contagious, right? Like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. It's getting out of that survival mode and that survival brain.
And getting to thrive.
It really is,
thrive.
yeah.
I love that. We do have some information for you about how you can take advantage of some of this training online. Rebecca, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And this is what you need to know. Trainings are available in person or virtually, and Community Resiliency Model, or CRM, also has a free online video, several of them. You can access those at rceg.org/trainings. For more information, go to their website at rceg.org or email info@rceg.org. We'll be right back with the Morris Museum's Boo Bash. Don't go away.